After almost 20 years of intense development, the USS Gerald R. Ford has set a new bar for naval power, becoming one of the most advanced warships on the planet. But the US Navy isn't stopping there. They're already planning to roll out the next carrier in the Ford-class lineup, one that's expected to operate in the tense and strategically critical waters of the South China Sea. In this video, we're going to break down what makes the Gerald R. Ford-class carriers so unique, the groundbreaking innovations they bring to the table, and what the future holds for the next generation of US Navy supercarriers. The Gerald R. Ford class is the top of the line in the US Navy's fleet of nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. Built by Newport News Shipbuilding, which is part of Huntington Ingalls Industries, these ships are a key part of the CVN-21 program. This program is all about replacing the Navy's older Nimitz-class carriers. With state-of-the-art features and capabilities, the Ford-class ships are ready to become the Navy's go-to assets for fast response and strategic missions. The Navy plans to build 10 of these advanced carriers, and so far, 4 have been named. USS Gerald R. Ford, CVN-78, USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79, USS Enterprise, CVN-80, USS Doris Miller, CVN-81. The USS Gerald R. Ford was handed over to the Navy in May 2017 and was officially commissioned in July that same year. After passing all the tests to be certified as a deployable combat ship in April 2023, it took the place of the USS Enterprise, CV-65, which had served for more than 50 years before being retired. The USS Gerald R. Ford is a massive ship stretching 1,092 feet long and 134 feet wide, way bigger than the Nimitz-class ships that came before it. But even though it's larger, it actually needs fewer crew members, about 500 to 900 less, thanks to some seriously advanced automation systems. The flight deck is 256 feet wide, offering a lot more space to operate. And while it's bigger than the Nimitz class, the Ford class still requires a smaller crew because of all the tech upgrades and easier maintenance. These improvements really make life better for the crew, with more spacious living quarters, bigger gyms, and workspaces designed to be more comfortable and efficient. Overall, the Ford-class ships come with 23 new or upgraded systems that make them stand apart from the Nimitz class. We're talking everything from better aircraft launch systems to state-of-the-art weapons systems. One of the standout upgrades in the Ford-class carriers is the shift from traditional steam-powered catapults to the Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, or EMALS. This new system gives us much finer control over how we launch aircraft, which reduces the stress on both the aircraft and the pilots. EMALS also makes it possible to launch unmanned aerial vehicles more smoothly and supports a wider range of wind conditions for takeoffs. In normal conditions, the system can handle up to 160 flight operations per day, and during intense combat, it can ramp up to 220. The Ford-class carriers are designed to carry up to 90 aircraft, including F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, FA-18EF Super Hornet, E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, EA-18G Growler, MH-60R Seahawk helicopters, various unmanned aerial vehicles. On top of that, the Ford class features Advanced Arresting Gear, or AAG, which uses electromagnetic motors to control the arrestor cables. This technology reduces the strain on aircraft when they land, making operations safer and more efficient. One of the standout features of the Ford-class carriers is their advanced weapons elevators, which really make a difference when it comes to the efficiency and safety of arming the carrier's air wing. These elevators can lift up to 24,000 pounds, making it easier to move weapons from controlled areas inside the ship to the flight deck. What's great about this is that it speeds up the entire process. Weapons can be prepped and secured in safe, controlled spaces before being lifted to the deck. This means the flight deck crew has less to worry about, making the whole operation more efficient. With this setup, the carrier can get planes in the air faster, which boosts its strike power and keeps it ready for action during high-stakes combat situations. The USS Gerald R. Ford comes equipped with two A-1B nuclear reactors, which produce 3 times the power of the A-4W reactors found on the Nimitz-class ships. This huge power boost allows the Ford to hit speeds of up to 30 knots and operate without needing refueling for about 20 to 25 years. This extra power also sets the stage for future upgrades, including advanced weapon systems. Over the ship's 50-year service life, the Office of Naval Research is testing cutting-edge weaponry, like directed energy weapons, including high-energy lasers and powerful microwaves. The cost to design and build the USS Gerald R. Ford came in at around $13.3 billion, a sharp jump from the $4.5 billion it took to build the USS Ronald Reagan, which is part of the Nimitz-class carriers. In November 2022, the Gerald R. Ford made its way back to its home port in Norfolk, Virginia, after completing a 53-day maiden deployment in the Atlantic. During that mission, the ship sailed 9,275 nautical miles, flew 1,250 sorties, delivered over 78 tons of ordnance, carried out 13 underway replenishments. After the attacks on Israel on October 7th, the Gerald R. Ford was deployed to the Eastern Mediterranean to offer extra support. Along with other naval ships, the carrier strike group played a key role in intercepting ballistic missiles and drones launched from Yemen, helping to protect U.S. interests in the region. The carrier returned to Norfolk in January 2024, marking the end of a successful deployment. Northrop Grumman got the contract to design the second Ford-class aircraft carrier, the USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79, back in 2006. They kicked off construction in 2011, and the ship was officially christened in December 2019. But it hasn't been smooth sailing. There have been several delays, and now the Kennedy isn't expected to be delivered until 2025. Once it's up and running, the USS John F. Kennedy will be part of the Pacific Fleet, playing a key role in missions across the Indo-Pacific, especially with all the rising tensions in the South China Sea. The next two carriers, the USS Enterprise, CVN-80, and the USS Doris Miller, CVN-81, are set to be deployed in 2029 and 2032, respectively. Even with some delays from supply chain problems, the Navy is staying focused on growing its fleet. These cutting-edge ships are going to be key in helping maintain power and stability in areas where tensions are high around the world. The Gerald R. Ford class is a major step forward in aircraft carrier design, bringing next-level firepower, flexibility, and operational efficiency to the U.S. Navy. With cutting-edge tech like EMALS, Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, directed energy weapons, and automated systems, these carriers are built to dominate in key areas like the Pacific and the South China Sea. As the USS John F. Kennedy gets ready for its 2025 launch, the Navy is all set to supercharge its capabilities with this powerful fleet of carriers. Thanks for watching. If you found this video on the Ford-class carriers and the future of U.S. naval power interesting, hit that thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the advancements in the Ford class? Catch you in the next video.